Thanks for joining us. I'm Bridget Shanahan.
And I'm Vince Vitrano. Republican leaders plan to call an extraordinary session of the state legislature in an effort to pass a right-to-work bill.
And a spokeswoman for Governor Scott Walker says if it passes, he will sign it. Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald plans to release details of the bill this afternoon. Under right-to-work, private sector workers would not be required to join a union or pay dues as a condition of employment. Fitzgerald expressed concern among some senators that the anti-union legislation would prompt large-scale protests like we saw for Act 10 back in 2011.
President of the Wisconsin AFL-CIO released a statement blasting the effort. It reads in part, quote, "Every worker suffers when states enact anti-worker right-to-work laws. Rushing this legislation through in an extraordinary session is a slap in the face to our democracy."
A 2-year-old boy remains in the hospital this afternoon after a violent car accident on the city's northwest side. Police confirm one car rammed into the other at 64th and Congress. They tell us a man has been taken into custody for that crash.
A huge car show all set up at the State Fair Park.
There are more than 400 vehicles on display, from custom hot rods to several of the cars from the Fast and the Furious movies. We got a sneak peek this morning.
And then Fast and Furious 1, this was painted a shiny black, and it's a matte black. But this is actual, we have documentation. This is the car that he drove in Fast and Furious 1 and 4.
And dispel the rumor about the Hemi, because everybody thinks there's a Hemi in this Charger, but there's not, right?
Well, in the movie there's a Hemi, but we'll say it's a Hemi, but it's not really, no.
World of Wheels kicks off at 3 o'clock at State Fair Park and then runs all day Saturday and Sunday.
A busy morning at Mitchell International Airport in Milwaukee.
Look at all the people lined up for security. A small inconvenience for the big luxury of escaping the cold and heading to warmer temperatures. We caught up with one couple that's leaving Wisconsin and headed to the Daytona 500.
We sightsee. We try and find stuff that we haven't seen before. We are poolside, laying in the sun, soaking in the rays.
Or go to the beach, one of the two.
Temperatures in Florida, not so tropical, dipping into the 40s, but you can't have everything.
It's been one of those weeks where we've had the wind, the cold, and, well, now the snow. It's been a true winter week this February. Oof, not good at all. We're seeing the light snow showers around southeastern Wisconsin, getting a little dusting of accumulation on the roadways, your sidewalks, your driveways. Less than an inch of accumulation is expected throughout the afternoon into the evening hours. Here's how much you can expect. Most of the area receiving less than an inch, but we'll continue to see some light snow showers and flurries overnight. So by morning, some of us will see about an inch of fluffy snow on the ground. Warming up, it's now to 12 degrees in Milwaukee with that southerly wind, 17 in La Crosse. Look at the 30s and 40s, even 50s off to the west. Boy, it sure would be nice to get a 53-degree reading here. Not anytime soon. We will hit 30 tomorrow like they're seeing in Des Moines as that warm front pushes through here, but it's just for a day. Enjoy it. This morning, cold, but you could tell the difference. It wasn't quite as harsh as the winds were lighter. We weren't seeing those wind chills of 28 to 33 below zero. They were 20 to 25 below zero, but the wind being lighter did help. Look at these actual temperatures, though, in Burlington and Lake Geneva at 20 below zero, 13 below in West Bend. So there's some pockets of cooler air in low-lying areas where that cold air settles overnight. There's the snow in Port Washington. Same scene pretty much all across southeastern Wisconsin. Not a lot of snow, just enough to get those roads wet and slick, so be cautious out there. Port Washington is 12. South wind is at 20. It's helping to warm us up, but at the same time, it's keeping those wind chills below zero. It's 12 in West Bend. Also in Milwaukee, Racine and Kenosha, 14 in Whitewater and Watertown. There are those southerly winds at 10 to 20, even a couple of higher gusts than that, and as a result, wind chills are between 5 and still 10 below zero. They'll get closer to zero as the afternoon wears on and those temperatures get up to around 18 degrees. The snow will gradually taper off. We'll get a few breaks here and there. We'll have some flurries and light snow later this evening and overnight. But once again, less than an inch of accumulation. Those southerly winds will keep the wind chill close, if not slightly below zero. Here's the warm front. It's the reason why we're seeing the snow showers. A huge storm stays to the south of us during the day tomorrow. Going to create snow and ice in the Tennessee and Ohio Valley. For us, just some clouds and flurries, and then the cold front tomorrow night brings us back to the Arctic air for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. But for today, the light snow showers continue and taper off to flurries, a high of 18 degrees, wind chills around zero. Then for tonight, we'll drop down to only 15 above zero. Notice the lack of a negative. It's nice. It's going to feel good with the light southwest wind as well. The warmer start means a milder day tomorrow, a high of 30, despite the clouds and the flurries, and a light breeze as well. Then it gets windy and colder for Sunday, high of 10, but wind chills below zero. It'll be around 8 below Monday morning with wind chills of 20 to 25 below. We stay at 8 for a high temperature on Monday, 25 in flurries on Tuesday, and colder the end of next week.